Okay, today we're going to talk about converting angles from something that we know, degrees, to something that we're not familiar with, radians. And we saw radians when we were dealing with trig, and I told you guys you have to be in degrees modes, not rad. Because radians is just another way, just like gradients. Radians is just another way to measure an angle. So an easy way to understand the conversion is that in a circle, there are a total number of degrees, and that is 360. Well, the total number of radians is 2 pi. So we would write out a conversion rule in order to understand these. And basically, you just put one on top of the other. So we're going to talk about converting from radians to degrees and degrees to radians. To do that, you just multiply by 360 degrees over 2 pi, or 2 pi over 360 degrees, depending on what you want. And you can reduce these, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to reduce top and bottom by 2. And so that gives us 360 divided by 2 is 180. And 2 pi divided by 2 is just pi. Oh, I'm doing that wrong. Whoops. So it's just pi over 180. And those are degrees. So that's what we're going to multiply by to get from one measure of an angle to the other measure of an angle. Here are some examples. What if I had 100 degrees and I wanted to convert it to radians? So to do that, I'm going to write out my question. Convert to radians. In order to do that, you would multiply by what you want on top. And if you want radians, you're going to put pi on top. And you divide, so you want what you don't want, what you're looking to get rid of on the bottom. I'm looking to get rid of degrees. So 180 goes on the bottom. Because 180 is the degrees and pi is the radians. When we multiply it out, we get 100 pi over 180. And you can reduce by 10 first, and then you can reduce by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 18 divided by 2 is 9. And I'm going to double check, and you cannot reduce that anymore. Okay, if you need to pause this to get caught up, go ahead. I'm going to go to another example. And I ran out of space. Okay, one more example doing it like this. If you feel comfortable, you can try it on your own. Here is the other example. I want to convert 120 degrees to radians as well. So what would you multiply by in order to get radians? I'm converting degrees to radians. You would multiply pi on top, degrees on the bottom, 180 degrees. I always write it multiplying it straight across, so 120 times pi is just 120 pi. 1 times 180 is just 180. The degrees in the tens place, or the ones place, so they both reduce by 10. And then we can also reduce by 6. So we end up with 2 pi over 3. So now we're going to try some examples where we're going to go through and convert from radians to degrees. Okay, so example number 3. Let's say we have 3 pi over 4, and I want to convert that to degrees. So I'm going to multiply by what I want on top, and what I want on top is degrees, so 180 degrees over pi. Multiplying straight across, you can go ahead and multiply 3 times 180, which gets you 540. Tag on the pi, and then 4 times pi is just 4 pi. The pi's end up canceling out, and then 540 divided by 4 gets you 135. And you're left with 135 degrees. And then here is the last example where I have 5 pi over 2, and I would like to convert that to degrees again. So converting to degrees, I'm going to multiply by degrees on top, pi on the bottom, and then you multiply straight across. So 5 pi times 180. I'm going to do 5 times 180. 900 pi, and then 2 times pi is just 2 pi. The pi's cancel, and then we're going to divide 900 by 2, which is just 540. So 540 degrees. I hope this helped, and please let me know if you have any questions.